Short-term study abroad experiences give students an opportunity to create their own path for the future. The 3 R's of reading, writing, and arithmetic are obsolete today and are being replaced by rigor, relevance, and relationships. In our short-term study abroad to China, they had the rigor of both an international business trip where they not only were exposed to new opportunities and ways of thinking by the Chinese people, but they also had an opportunity to do a communications course as well. Communications, leadership, and understanding of other cultures are some of the tools that students need to develop in their academic choices as they pursue their college career. In terms of relevance, it could not be more apropos for a study abroad to expand their thinking of how do I want to apply my degree. One of the beauties of our past trip to China that Penn State Lehigh Valley took is that we had 7 different ethnic backgrounds and 23 different students coming from 9 different majors. And we took that diversity and we put it in this time machine called an airplane for 13 hours. And when we landed on the other side of the planet, all these students were in the same boat. This was their first experience to China, first experience of sharing things together, first experience for many of them in living away from home and living in a dorm environment. And out of that, they began to find their relevance in how they relate to one another, how they relate to faculty, how they relate to Chinese faculty, how they relate to Chinese people and people from other generations. And the last element that study abroads do is relationships. You have to expand your social networks, and understanding and building these relationships at an early age are very important, not only in professional development going forward, but also in personal development, because it creates countless opportunities.
We had students meet with a group of women who volunteer for a nonprofit called CAI. And we all learned about the plight of migrant workers' children, the fact that they're left to their own devices for many hours during the day. And this has inspired several students to go around the community collecting art supplies that these students can use in their classrooms. So it's really opening up a whole dimension, a way to understand global issues that students previously didn't have. And although this is really a tremendous learning opportunity for students, it also provides other learning opportunities for instructors as well. For many, many years, I've been teaching the concepts of collectivism versus individualism in speech communication. And we know that in many of the Eastern cultures, the notion of being a collectivist society is one that is absolutely paramount. A realization in a speech class when students simply won't volunteer because they are one of many. They do not feel like we do in America that we have the right to volunteer. So it was really fascinating to see students in an Eastern society come alive with the notion that they can be public speakers on their own and that they really should volunteer. By contrast, our students can learn that it's not always appropriate to think that your speech is the best or that you're the one who has to speak up first, that working in a group or being part of a collection of people can be a very valuable communication tool.
While this study abroad trip had 2 courses associated with it, an international business course and a communications course, what Dr. Gutgold and I were most proud of about all of our students is the transformations that occurred in them as a young individuals. They wrote about it, they journaled about it, they talk about it, they still talk about it today. Their parents saw this change in them, their friends saw this change. On the way back, they had a chance to digest and begin to unpack some of their memories of China, which they're still doing today. And these are the memories, these are the relationships, these are the relevances, these are the rigors that they're going to carry through not only the rest of their time at Penn State, but in their life as general. And that, to me, is the most powerful aspect of short-term study abroad.